Hello and welcome to my hacking slash archaeology slash exploration guide. If you didn't check out my probing guide to actually scan down the SIGs, I'll have a link somewhere on this screen annotated. Otherwise, it'll be down in the description just for ease of access. I have already scanned down two relic sites in my wormhole, which I'm going to warp to now. Note of warning, have dscan set up to show you hostiles. Have a hotkey for it. I use R, even if you spam it. Also with the new changes, you click R and place in space. See, direction scan, click target to direction scan at that, even if it's a 360 scan. Either way, make sure you always are descanning to check what's around you because you don't want to get ganked. If you want to be extra giga careful, you can warp to any of these scans. Actually, I should take a bit of time here. You enter a site, an exploration site. Exploration sites are data sites and relic sites. And sleeper data sites, but those are something else. We're talking just about simple exploration with no combat, no damage, no chance of you dying except being ganked by another player. These are a collection of cans. If you don't see them on your overview, get a preset overview or just try and wheel it yourself at your own expense. And each of these cans contain loot. To scan that loot, you need an analyzer, either a relic analyzer or a hacking module, hacking analyzer, data analyzer, for the data sites. We are now in a relic site, and I'm going to use the relic analyzer. As I was mentioning earlier, if you want, you can move stealth, cloaked, all the way to the can, if you just want to be extra sure, but I would not really do this, except if I knew that I have a guy that's cloaked like a saber, an interdictor that's cloaked, and maybe in my sight, and just waiting for me to get there, and uncloak, put up the bubble, and then get ganked. But let's be serious, most of the times you just be in the situation with an empty site, empty dscan, and all you have to do is just approach. If you have stabs, remember that stabs increase your locking range. I'm in a Helios right now, but my locking range is something absolutely stupidly ridiculous with the warp core stabilizers, equalizers, which I call right now. Equalizers, yeah. Stabs are the general name for them. I have a meta level. Anyways, we're somewhat slow boating. I usually use a single pulse on this, so I don't forget with it on, so I can overshoot. Usually when I'm moving between cans, it only really takes one burst to get you from can to can. And I was mentioning the locking range. I have a locking range of 30 kilometers, which is shit, but it's just enough to and locking speed, so I lock these things down slower. But it's worth having stabs to just not die horribly. Locking, then picking the analyzer once. Anyways, this is the interface which you use to hack slash do archaeology. It's the same one, and depending on difficulty, this can be smaller or bigger. Usually the bigger ones are easier, just because it's easier to guess where the core appears. The thing is like this, you start out randomly, but the core is always, if I'm mistaken, 1 or 2 dots away from the edge, and it's usually the furthest point from where we spawn. It's a gain skill. I'm not saying you'll get it from the very beginning, you just have to do a lot with them, see patterns, but from my experience, I know that it usually has to be around here somewhere. Also, depending on, I highly recommend you use the Tech 2s. Aside from higher coherency, my god, I wish I could talk, you have a larger virus strength, which means you do more hits per an attack. Let's actually run through this. I hope I don't die, and I'll show you how this works. You click once, the number 3 that shows up means the closest you are to either data node, something that may contain something useful to you, something that definitely is useful to you, like a boost, or the core itself. Let's go down. 2, so I'm getting closer. 2, I'm not getting closer. It's probably here. Let me see if I can show you. 1, there we go. It's here. These are self-repairs. I recommend you use them whenever you find them. There's a tiny bit of an issue with not using them early, because you get less HP per tick than you'd get by actually killing, I think it's protection nodes, restoration nodes, something like that, which those passively decrease how much HP you get per tick. And by tick I mean one action, so activating it is a tick in itself, so it gives me 4 hit points. And then you go again, and again, and as you've probably seen, it's gone and the ticks have worn out. There's one here. This cuts in half the hit points of an enemy node. It's not here. Also, I want to mention that it's not here, that it's the location of the core is not here. The actual goal of this thing is to destroy the core. This is a restoration node. Always and forever destroy this at the first opportunity you have. Because I have 40 strength, I could afford to do it in 2 ticks. It has 80 health. Otherwise, I would have done this and then use, I think it was 20 or 30 hit points that the tech 1 does. But really, get the tech 2s. They're absolutely vital to make your life a hell of a lot easier. Okay, 5. Once I took this, it's 5. The next useful / core thing is 5 dots away. Okay, restoration node, die horribly, thank you. 1. Now, I should have mentioned a bit earlier, nodes also have coherence and strength. You always attack first, so I have 105 hit points. This will do me 20 damage, because it's not gonna be dead in one hit. So click once, I get 20 hit points damage. It still has 20 hit points, I can guarantee to get down. It still has 40, so I can guarantee get it down in one hit with my 40 strength, and I will not get any damage back. You always strike first. This said 2, so here or here, but honestly I don't think so, but I'll go through it anyway. And there we go, that's the core. Again, due to me having such high virus coherence, I can afford to take risks, and usually taking risks pays out better in the end. Let's drop that down. And again, I was saying, usually taking risks pays out more in the end, because otherwise you'd be hitting nodes and worse nodes just trying to go around and just going through it, especially if you know where you're going. Let's open this up. There's some loot. Drop it in my chugga chugga loot container. Close this. Move to the next one. One first. My micro warp drive. I know I have 13 kilometers lock range, and moving on to the next one. Lock. Descanning. Read the local corp chat. Usually CAS is fun. I highly recommend it if you were to look for an NPC corp that's still a player corp. They do a lot of stuff. Yeah, free plug. Also join, I think it was Info Spam, the Info Spam channel, mailing list. You get a lot of stuff, what's happening, what they're doing. Seriously, the best NPC corp that's still active and not just dead. Let's scan this. Out. Click. 4-bit 500. 554. Again, I know it should be somewhere around here, maybe. Let's go that way. Get that. This is an interesting one. Polymorphic shield. This can take 2 hits, doesn't matter which hits, for free. You don't take any damage from them. So if I were to, let's show it a bit later though. Usually you keep that one. For this is a high damage one, does 40 damage, which is insane. Right now, if I were to take 2 hits, I would die. So I'm gonna activate this once. Get, see, minus 40 damage I did to it. It did 40 damage to me, but I didn't take one because I had this on. I have one more use for it, which will not be taken on now because I can kill it in one hit and it will not get the chance to strike back at me. Also, this is they did a cache. Sorry. This can be good or bad. I recommend you not, because most of the times it's bad, unless you really need to in a bad situation and you really could use something good, otherwise you're gonna lose it anyway. Destroy that. The restoration nodes do 20 hit points, adds 20 hit points to a random node. Because they added to this one, it's good because the core still might be here or here. I got a 1 hit on this, which may mean the data cache, but I'm not sure. It may just mean that there's another one at 1 here, which may be the core. But let's leave that for when it actually happens. Also, never do that, what I did here. If you see a good thing, take it, because if I were to hit a node here, like a firewall or something, it would blank all the nodes around, as you've probably seen here, you know? It blanks all around it that you haven't already scanned down. And even if there's something in there, you have to destroy that to be able to take the good node out. Anyways, by this point, I think it's still here. Just drop this down. 3, 4, not here. There we go. As I mentioned, it doesn't have to be at the edge, but it can be, I think, 1 or 2 in. Get that. Open this. Get everything but carbon. Carbon is, well, don't do anything with it, and it's a lot in space. What? Oh, you can get a lot in space anyway. Move to the next one. Control Shift Click unlocks. Control Click locks. Micro warp drive off. Also, I spent so much time in this site. By this point, I would have completed it already. This ends. The thing why I usually use 1 pulse is, see, you do a little whoosh past it, and this can get pretty far. I already got like 3.4 kilometers away by the time I actually could go back. If you have like a very fast ship, you can start hacking, and you would go out of range, out of the 6 kilometer range, and at that point, you would have a large issue. You would have a large issue because that you can fail these once, you can try them again twice at the second time, but you cannot fail them twice, and they would explode and lose all the loot inside. So that's why it's very important not to overshoot it. By the way, cores, green are easy ones, the medium ones are, I think, yellow, and the hard ones are red. That shows also the difficulty of the actual layout. Open this. By the way, the loot you find inside, while technically you'd find better loot in red cores, I have gotten intact plates and valuable loot in green ones as well. It's really a toss-up. Again, this is the next because of how large it is. I'm gonna try and do this a bit of a speed, just to see what that speed can mean. There we go. Mistake. It also covers down cores. Do that. But again, I usually can afford it by this point. Also, the restoration nodes never heal the cores. That's important to know because there have been some situations where that actually saved me a can because I knew that. Whatever, get all of this. Try to loot. Close this. The next one, approach, block, EVD, undo this, RRR, double check D-scan. Checking D-scan in sites, a matter of comfort. I recommend you just check it while moving between them, and maybe once or twice when you're doing it, but don't constantly check it while you have this open and, you know, double moving your focus from this from there to there, because usually it's not worth it. Just do it like, I don't know, maybe once or something. Also, see, trying to move around it, even if I could, this would have been like 5 extra nodes uncovering, which if you have like 2 of these in a row, you're fucked. When you're low skills at this point, if you have like, I don't know, 40 coherence, I don't know, 60 coherence, might as well just go around instead of taking the hit. But I can take the hit because I pretty much know it's here. Down. There we go. Much new it's here. Drop this down. It's 70 hit points. I can do 40 hit point damage. I only take 1 hit from it, and it does 10 damage. That's why I usually don't really care about the the cores themselves. Let's drop this in. The next one, approach, scan. Also, good moment to go reload all on your scanner probes. Lock this up. And if you lose the boost, you still get some speed, and by the time you actually finish this mini game, you would be close enough to it anyway. Loot. Okay. Also, by the way, you get different hit points bonus from that depending on difficulty. I got 5 in a red one, 5 bonus hit points healed per tick from this. While I was in a red one, in a green one, as probably see me, I get 10. This is a green one. Here, sure. You saw one here, which meant there's something here or here, but again, probably here. It really is a matter of experience and understand the patterns. Okay, I don't remember which one this was, but it has approach, so I cannot go here because I'm already in it. But I can go to the other one. And also while I'm here, I think I should remove this one because I completed it. All the cans are hacked. Roll cup, sure, fine. Scan, and I'm home free with, see how much that called, because messy. 11 mil, which honestly really isn't much in the grand scheme of things, but it's something. Sites in nullsec, in wormhole space, this you can find nullsec sites. In nullsec you find nullsec sites, in lowsec sites, and highsec sites. Thing is, highsec it's shit. Lowsec it's slightly better, but it's really not that much worth it. And nullsec is actually worth it. Thing is, depends what loot it's inside. Right now, and for a long while now, intact armor plates, and armor plates are the core, the backbone of your money making, unless you find something incredibly rare in a data set or something like that. So I would recommend doing Sanshas, like I'm doing right now, Sansha sites, because Sansha sites give armor plates, intact and normal armor plates. Also, I think it was Blood Raiders. I think Blood Raiders sometimes also drop armor plates. But don't quote me on that. But generally, the Sansha space, I mean, Catch, Stain, those places are usually high traffic, full of Explo guys, and you're literally racing other Explo guys to get them. What I'm doing right now is a bit of cheating, because there are very few, not a lot, but very few Sansha sites. Wormholes, which were part of a thing, a role-playing thing done a while back, part of the storyline, etc. What it actually matters for us is that these can spawn. Actually, these only spawn Sansha sites from all difficulties, from high sec to low sec to null sec quality of sites, which is good as well, but bad as well. The thing is, usually these are included and ignored, because no wormholer in their right minds would go into these wormholes, because these are not sites you can farm for the wormhole loot. But these wormholes are good for single players or small players, like, I don't know, 2-3 players. They can easily sustain that. You can also farm the gas in them, the shatter wormholes. You can also farm the sites themselves. There are some, drone anomalies, but you also get Sansha anomalies. You can rat Sanshas in these wormholes, which is pretty unique. And at their center, you also have uh, incursion rats. Not a lot, but a few with zero bounty, but just a cool little gimmick. Also, having exactly talking what I'm doing on screen, I'm hoping that you guys are following along. Just seeing what I'm doing and how fast you can actually do one of these sites. Okay. Also, lag matters. I've seen some Australian guys doing these, and it was a damn pain because you click once and you get the ping back later, like a lot later. Side speed, especially when it gets to mini games. Also, fuck this shit. Relates to, and this was a red one by the way. Relates to how fast you actually clear the site and be safe. And man, it matters. Again, I feel sorry for Australia guys or anyone that gets higher ping than I do in Europe. Right now, as you've probably seen, I did the 2 attacks because I want to take the full brunt of the attacks on the shield, so I can, kill these without suffering any repercussions. And there you go, load again. As you've probably seen here, this was the second location I searched. Very rare once you get this down and have skills and equipment will you fail these cans. Very rare. But equally, if you know what you're doing with the Tech 1, you can finish these sites. They just take a lot more attention and you can breeze through them like I'm doing right now. But yeah, hacking 5 or at the very least Archeology 5 is definitely important. If you're planning on doing the sleeper caches, you guaranteed need the sites to need the hacking to 5. Why I need the hacking to 5 for those is because a lot of things that will kill you will be required to be completed by hacking operation, and that will need to be completed fast. Oh, there you go, tactile plates. This is 13 million. 13 million, 11 million is just in the 3 intact armor plates. So the cost of 3 intact armor plates is the cost of the site I did previously fully. So you can get a bit of a grip of how much this matters. The thing is, regards to our intact armor plates, you can farm them, as I said, in catch. But the fact that they're farmed so hard and so often, usually it's a bit more intensive and harder to do than just having an ult in like one of these wormholes. By the way, if you go into my wormhole, I'll fucking kill you. But you have into one of these wormholes, because these are usually empty enough. As you've probably seen, nothing in these camps fucking ages, and they're safe. You can just log in every once in a while, see the new 6 that appear in the site and in the system. See if it's a relic site. It's AFKable, low intensity, and I think it's a lot more fun doing this. I did 2 sites, right? Let me just warp out one of my safe spots. This was what? I think 20 minutes or something. I don't know for sure. Didn't exactly seem like work. That call, and I did 27 million, which honestly isn't a lot. It's pretty shit. Usually, if you get a good site out of this, you get like 100 million. But it's something you can do. AFK, but not the kind of incursion AFK where it fucking sucks. But Anyways, I'm a bit ranting right now. This was my hacking / archaeology video. If you have any suggestions, if I screw something up, if you really want to say how bad I am, please post in the comments. And I will see you at my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.